Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. Please go right ahead. You have 10 minutes.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. Give me some minutes to share my screen. Okay. All right. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is up.
Okay. Okay, good morning once again, afternoon, evening, from wherever you're joining us from. Please, I need to get a feedback of what screen you can see.
Okay, so we can see your slide, but it's not
in presentation mode.
Not in presentation mode yet.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, let's just. All right, can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, it is now
In presentation mode. Okay, good morning. Apologies for the breaking transmission. Yeah, it's really a great pleasure to be here, and I'm going to say thank you for the opportunity. So today we're going to be looking at empower women in AI, the relevance of collaborative community efforts. Yes, I'll take that again. Empower women in AI, the relevance of collaborative community efforts. My name is Victoria Eguaye. I'm a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional in Business Application, a Microsoft Certified Professional, Microsoft Certified Trainer, and a Business Applications Developer. You can connect with me on Twitter and LinkedIn via my LinkedIn. That's my name. I'm the only one that has that name. So yeah, and Twitter, Bikilala. So I'll just go straight since we have a very short time. We've been hearing a lot about AI. AI is the new song everybody's singing. But have you also noticed that we don't have so many women in this field? And it is of a great importance to actually empower women, onboard women into the AI field. Women are underrepresented in AI. And diversity is not just a word that we use, oh, diversity, diversity. No, it is essential for us to have diversity in any field we find ourselves in. And unfortunately, in tech, we don't have so much women. We preach the gospel of tech, yeah, but do we have so much women taking up that challenge to join the moving train? No. It's essential for driving innovation in AI. Yes, diversity is essential. Imagine, okay, our next speaker is a I don't want to miss my words, but I want to make sure that we get the points we're trying to say. So our next speaker is somebody that innovated a robot to detect breast cancer. Now, imagine if she was not a woman. I'm not saying that a guy cannot be able to do that. No. But imagine if she was not a woman. Would a guy think in that direction? No. So imagine that there was no diversity and a woman was not in the AI world. Would she be able to do that? Or a woman was not in the robotic and yes, in the robotic world, would she be able to do that? No. Would we have that solution? No. This gender gap limits the diversity and perspective within the field. Only a few percentage of AI professionals are women, highlighting a gender disparity in the field. I've said this and we all can see it. I'm very sure that in that physical room, we can see that the proportion of male in the room is more than the proportion of female. This is why we are having this session. This is why we have to encourage women to join the moving train. The power of diversity. Diversity is essential for innovation and progress. Diversity allows us embrace work and allows us work in a very cool form. Imagine that you are in a workplace. There's this spirit or there's this vibe a woman brings into a work environment. There's this communication and collaboration a woman brings into the work environment. Now imagine that you're working in a company that from top to bottom, there's no single lady. There's no diversity, there's no inclusion. Actually, diversity is especially needed in AI because we have serious bias, and we have to curb this by allowing women, providing the platform for them and encouraging them to join us, to join the moving train. By bringing together with people with different backgrounds, experiences, and perspective, we can create better solutions and products. When you have a woman in your team, there's this different perspective to how everybody's thinking or how everybody's envisioning a project or a product. A woman's touch to that project would actually go a long way in making the solution better. Okay, so now what's the importance of collaboration? Collaborative community efforts play a vital role in addressing gender disparity in AI. Women in AI organizations and network provide support. We heard while they were reading the profile, the training lead in textilers, and textilers is focused on women. Fine, we have some male allies among us, but we are focused on women, and the plan is to encourage them, be their support system, be someone they can always talk to. We also provide mentorship. So we have many organizations and communities like this. We also have hackathons and workshops focused on women in AI to help build their skill and confidence. Not every woman can talk in the public. Not every woman can do a presentation. Some of us are always very shy. How do we build this skill? How do we build women confidence? It's by organizing hackathons and workshops. And when these hackathons and workshops are being organized, don't say, oh, I'm a woman, I don't want to apply. Apply. You don't have to be 100% fit to be able to participate in a workshop or in an hackathon. By working together, we can create more inclusive and supporting environments for women in the field. For women already in the field, how are you making the platform suitable for those that are willing to join? Are you there to support, provide resources to women trying to come into the tech field? Challenges. We recognize that there are some opportunities that exist for women in AI, but then there's still gender bias. There's still stereotypes that impact women's confidence and opportunities in the field. Yeah, I know some guys will say, oh, there are so many resources that they'll say strictly for women. Strictly for women. Yes, we know, but there are some gender bias, there are some stereotypes that really affect us. And this is a challenge. While progress has been made, women are still underrepresented. If we compare what we have now to what we had 10 years ago, that's the proportion of women in AI or in tech generally, would see that, yes, there's been progress, but we'll still say that despite the progress that's been made, we are still underrepresented. We need to address systemic barriers that prevent women from entering and advancing in this field. There are some barriers that would prevent women, and this has to be addressed for more women to come in. Let's explore how we can overcome these challenges and seize these opportunities. So what strategies? Hello?
2 minutes to go.
Okay, so what strategies do we have for empowerment? We can all see this on the screen. There's skill building workshops, networking events and groups, just like these events that you are currently attending. If that event was not there, you would not probably have met one person. So try and reach out to them, network, so that you can empower a lady in that event. So what's the future of AI? The future of AI is bright. We need to bring a lot of people on board. In conclusion, let's continue to collaborate, support each other, and make a difference. Breaking barriers and unleashing the power of women in AI is crucial for creating a more diverse, innovative, and inclusive field. By working together, we can overcome challenges, seize opportunities, and create a better future for everyone. Thank you.
we celebrate that? She kept to time and I love that. I really, Victoria, thank you so much. I mean, I can see the passion, the zeal, and that's what defines most of all women. We just want to put everything into it, really, and really celebrate. Can we celebrate Victoria once more?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So moving on, Omolola will be taking the next 10 minutes presentation. Omolola, please confirm you're on the call.
Yes, I am. Good morning. Please confirm you can hear me clearly.
Loud and clear.
Awesome. All right. So just give me some seconds to share my screen and to. Okay, so let me know when you can see me. Hi. Okay, just give me one sec.
Okay, your screen is not up yet.
Yes. Okay, let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is up, but it is not in presentation mode.
Yes. Okay, so confirm that you can see my screen now and that it is in presentation mode.
Yes, I can confirm that.
Okay, all right. So good morning, everybody. Right, this session is going to be, I'll try to make it as interactive as possible. So what we'll basically be talking about, just like Victoria has already started with us, is empowering women in AI, right? And this particular session, we'll be looking at so we'll be looking at strategies, right? Strategies that we can use to encourage women in tech. So like Victoria mentioned, if you look at, those that are joining us physically, you would notice that most people here are men. So if you're looking at strategies that we need to imbibe, right, for women majorly to join tech, we are looking at strategies that every one of us, whether you're a woman or you're a man, parents, or you are actually also in tech, you're trying to enter into tech. These are strategies that all of us actually need to put in place. Okay, so just a little bit about me. My name is Omolola Alfred. I help organizations transform their operations, maximize time, and increase profits by digitizing their process. And so I was here while they were reading the bio. So majorly what we use is the Microsoft Power Platform to do all of this. So I'm also the programs and training lead at the Nigerian Dynamics 365 community. I co-found Local Techies. And I also mentor women in textiles. So just moving on. One question that we actually need to talk about and we need to ask ourselves is, why is it important to have more women in tech? You will notice that we have so many initiatives that are actually doing this. We have She Code Africa, we have Ladies in AI, we have PyCon ladies and all of that. So there was a time I listened to one of my friends, a guy, say, why is it that we just have so many initiatives for women and we don't even have any of that for men? Why is it that we just have, you go here, you see women in tech, you go here, you see we're trying to bring more women in tech. Why are all of this going on? This is one of the things we actually need to ask ourselves. So the answer is basically that we have a current gender gap, right, between men and women in tech. So I just have something here to show us. So now we have this particular image that you can see is from the International Labour Organization. And this is what we can see, 72 for men, and we have 47 for women. So we basically need to bridge the gap. But you might be wondering, okay, there are women in tech and there are men in tech. Why exactly do we need to actually bridge this gap? Just another image that I have to show us here is, okay. All right. So another image I have to show us here is, for you to just see the margin, right? The margin between men and the margin between women. Okay, so you might still be wondering, okay, the margin between men and the margin between women, what can this margin cost to an organization? Now, okay, so before we even go to strategies, one thing you need to know is, if we have an organization where we just have only women in the organization, we have a place that we just have women in the organization. Let's assume that these women are just from Nigeria, right? one thing that is going to happen is all of them will think in a certain way, right? Because they are all women and they are from the same place. Okay, let's take it further. We have only women, but we have some that are Black and we have some that are white. They would think in a particular context. But if we have both men and both women, what that will actually cause in any organization is that there will be more. So we'll have more innovations. The reason we are going to have more innovations is because, so the reason we are going to have more innovations is basically because we have men and women thinking in different ways. And this is what inclusion and diversity can actually cause, right? So the reason we are bringing women to join an organization is because of inclusion and diversity. Why do we need inclusion and diversity? Because we need innovation. We need men to think like men, for them to be logical and all of that. We need women to think like women, add all their experience and all of that, bring that on board to help any organization. So we need both men and both women in any organization for that organization to thrive. And this is why we have She Code Africa. We have all of these people bringing women and trying to encourage women. So now let's just look at some strategies for encouraging women in any organization. And as a man in this room, as a woman, as a parent, as a mother, what you should actually be, or as a father, what you should actually be thinking about is, how can I imbibe these strategies, to bring my sisters, to bring my daughters, to bring women into tech? Okay. So the first that we have here is education and early exposure. All right. So for me, I was opportune to actually study computer science, right? But even though I studied computer science, I actually did not know what I was going to do in computer science until my 300 level. Now, one of the things that helped me was practical exposure. So I went for internship one day and I saw while they were using Arduino, right? So we use Arduino, we use some of these things to put some things together. And, it was really encouraging. I looked at it and I'm like, okay, this is actually exciting, right? Now, one of the strategies that we can use to bring women is education and early exposure. Enough of theories, enough of, just reading and reading. Let us really show them what is possible with tech. How can we do this? By having workshop. Victoria already talked about workshop, education. And another thing is role model and representation. Let's just walk through it. Another one is creating inclusive work environments. Another is mentorship and networking. But I'm just going to dwell a little on role models and representation. Before I entered into tech, I didn't really see so many people that I could exactly look up to in my own space. Okay, there were so many people that you can actually look up to, but they were far, right? I didn't see anybody close to me that I could look up to. So we need to create role models. We need to create representation. We need to bring women that can actually inspire other women, right? So you look at this person and you're like, oh, this person looks like something that I would want to be. But if we don't have such representation, then it will be so hard for us to actually tailor our girls, tailor our children, tailor our sisters to say, okay, this is something that you can look up to. This is somebody that you can try to be like this person, right? So another thing is creating inclusive work environments, and that's what we have here. Now, let's assume that we already have our sisters, we already have our mothers, we already have, women doing tech. How can we now make the work inclusive for them? We know that over time, a woman can decide to give birth, a woman can decide to say, get married and all of that. How can we make sure that even though they've given birth, even though they are now married, even though they've decided to do, other things that women do, the work can still be inclusive for them, do things like have maternity leave, for instance. Even paternity leave can also even help a woman. A woman that just gave birth, assuming that the woman went through C-section or anything like that, she might actually need support of her husband. So if you have an organization and you create things like paternity leave, it will also help a woman, even though you're not giving it to the woman directly. All right. So we also need mentorship and networking. So one of the things I actually love doing is to mentor people, whether woman or man. But then if we have sessions dedicated to helping women, right, mentoring them and networking. Now, there are different types of mentorship. We have both formal and informal mentorship. For me, I've been able to enjoy both formal and informal mentorship from both genders, from a woman and from a man. And that is why, even though you're a man in this building, you have a role to play. All right. Informal mentorship is, you have personal relationship with the person you're mentoring. Okay, they can actually see your day-to-day lives, and that can actually encourage them also. A formal mentorship is just, this is what you need to do, right? Do this, and it will help you excel, something like that. So we need mentorship, we need networking. Yes. I have.
Did you get that?
Okay. Yes, I got that. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's just quickly look at other things that I have left. Also, the last I'm just going to talk about is addressing unconscious bias. So there are people that when, say, a woman comes, I'm talking about during interview or things like that, or say you're trying to bring a woman into your organization. Some of the things that some of them look at is, oh, I don't want to employ a woman because, of course, in 2 years she'll start giving birth, and if she starts giving birth, she's going to take maternity leave. That's 3 months. But then if I employ a man will not need to do any of that. So these are actually unconscious bias that some people don't even think about when they are trying to decide maybe they should actually employ a man or employ a woman. So before I go to questions, let me just round up the addressing unconscious bias. So now, as much as that is actually true, a woman is probably going to go to this and go to that, and how will I put it, might not have as much time as a man would. Other things that, if you're actually in that position of employing either men or women or woman, part of the things that you need to actually look at is that, aside from all of that, a woman has other things that she can actually bring to your business. A woman can multitask. Okay, a woman can bring up, even family background experiences to organization. So these are the things that we should actually work towards. Okay, so I'm saying this also because we have a lot of men in the building, and there are so many things that we can actually do to encourage women. So I know that we're going to enter into a panel session, and we're going to take questions from panel session. So I'm just going to end here and allow the third speaker to speak about the same thing. Thank you so much. But if we have any question, I can just quickly attend to them in a minute.
Okay, so taking the questions together, just to save our time.
Okay, that's fine.
That one is expensive, and the part of unconscious bias, I think I can attest to that. We don't look at the group, and the next year we look at together, and it's really unconscious. And these are the things that we need to now bring to our consciousness and then address it. Yeah, so moving forward, so taking our last speaker, Kemisola. So Kemisola is prepared to take us on the next session. Kemisola, can you hear me? Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Hope you can hear me as well.
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Let me try to share my screen. I think this. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen, please? Can you confirm that?
Okay, your screen is not up.
Hello, can you?
Not yet.
Okay, it's up. Wow. Share. This is what it is. How about now?
Okay, it's coming up gradually. Yes, it's up.
Okay. Yes, please, when it's on, let me know when it's on, please.
Your screen is up now.
Okay, my screen is up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. And I have to express my gratitude to the organizers of this program for bringing me on here. This is like a strong passion for me. So when I see invitations like these, I just have to grant it. You understand? So thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate. So because of the short time I'm given, I will just go to my presentation. Anyways, our speakers have said it all. And I just want to add little to it, which I'm going to call, I call it like a call. a wake-up call for every one of us, be it a woman, a man, a girl, a boy, what have you. This is a call for everybody as an individual. Like I said, speakers have said a lot about bridging the gap. And you agree with me that it's not what it means that we have few representation of women in STEM. I wouldn't narrow it to a particular field right now, because we've heard about AI and it's the same thing, same gender gap and same bias. We've talked about the last class talked about women in tech, same thing. I'm talking about robotics and embedded system, it's still the same thing. So I just want to put under one umbrella, which I call STEM, acronym for science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It's no news, and this is a problem. It's a global problem, not just for Nigeria alone. It's a problem that's affecting the whole world. Female representation in STEM field, it's very, very, very few. And that is why we are here to talk to you as an expert, as a techie. Sorry, permit me to call you that, as a techie, on how we can work together and work on this to bridge this gap. So that is why I call it a call for every one of us. Like our speakers have said, why do we have, because it has to be about question why, and it will be going on over some people's mind now, that why are we even having this little representation? Then I noticed something. They also asked the question that how many women do we have here? It was so sad that we can't even count up to 10. Online, we have about 78 participants and no women at all. Likewise, the people there, in person, attending in person, we have just few. And that is where the problem lies. So why we having this few representation of women in STEM field? The first thing I have here is early education and exposure. Please permit me to break it down properly. You will know that when we're in school, when we're in our early age school, most of, let's take it from primary, secondary now. By the time you're in secondary, you all know who you are. You know what, you by that time you have a direction of where you want to go. So mathematics has been the major problem for women. For students, know them say women now. So then now go to women now. Most women doesn't like mathematics. So this thing have really affected exposure to STEM, to science, to mathematics. Is part of why we have limited women in this field. Women are not really, girls are not really encouraged. They're not really exposed to science courses, to science subjects, which now build up to the problem that we have now. That is having few representation in STEM-related field because of my time. The next one I have is gender stereotype. Our speakers have said everything. Gender stereotype, we all know that if you don't want to deceive ourselves, we don't have this mindset that it's only boys that will pass that subject, especially when it comes to mathematics, which is like a major problem for students. It's only for boys. The boys are the good ones. These have been embedded in us, which go to the cultural factors. They've made us to know that being a woman or being a girl, you are not meant to be in some field that are male dominated, which is very wrong. These are like cultural factor, cultural belief that even we women, we've already absorbed that. No, it's better let me go to where I'm needed. This is a male dominated field. So that is part of the problem we are facing in having women here. Lack of support and encouragement. I remember then our teachers, majorly our mathematics teachers, they don't encourage us. They don't. They make it look like, okay, mathematics is magical. They make mathematics magical. So when it comes to the class to take the mathematics in class, when they ask the questions, their focus is on the male child, not the female child. The support is not there. Even parents doesn't give the maximum support for their girl child. They give that support to the boy, having in mind that they're the one that will graduate to study medicine, they'll become an engineer, they'll become a pilot. Leaving the girl child, we Africans now, taking Nigeria as a case study, we believe, okay, every woman, we end up in the kitchen, which is very wrong. This have amounted to the problem we are facing as a nation, because I want to narrow it down to where we are right now. Don't let us take a general problem we're having all over the world, but let's use Nigeria as a case study. Then lack of role models is very, very important. Lack of female representation, the role models. And I would let you know that role models play a whole lot in development of human being. When you have a role model in whatever you find yourself, it makes you have a foresight, a focus. Oh, this is what I want to be. At least this person do this, then I believe I can do it. But lack of this role model in STEM field is also amounted to the few representation of women. Now we've known the reason why we have few female representation. I also want to talk about why do we need inclusion? That's another thing. Why do we need women? Why do we need more women to come into this field? Like the first speaker said, enhance innovation and problem solving. This is very, very important. I believe in brainstorming. And there's one word that says, nobody has a monopoly of idea. No one has a monopoly of idea. When you have a diverse, people, a woman, a man, what's it called? I don't want to use this word for them. The disabled, permit me to use that word. When we have this diverse of people coming together to solve a problem, to brainstorm on one issue, you will see that you're going to have a very innovative solution. So having women, coming into STEM, will help us in problem solving. Like someone mentioned, cite my innovation as an example. Imagine this thing is breast cancer is something that I've been for decades. And nobody has ever even thought of, okay, you can use technology. No, you staying in your house without you going for mammograms. You can do that. It takes a woman because a woman will feel the pain. I'm a woman, and that's why I could feel, okay, this thing is needed. You understand? There's so many solutions, so many challenges like that needs women because it's something that is really affecting us. That is why I said that bringing in women will enhance innovation through health, climate change, agro, just name it. It's going to enhance it. Another one, that the first one is global challenges and solution. When you have a group of people of diverse in solving the global challenges that we have, like the health, like the breast cancer now, cancer generally is a global problem. Climate change is a global problem. So when you have people coming in from different diverse to brainstorm, to think about how we can tackle this challenge, it will really help, in solving the problem and bring a solution to the problem. Then the role models, bringing more women, they will serve as role model to future generations. And this actually give me joy. I remember speaking about this in some universities and even like a program like this. It inspires when I tell them about my story, when I tell them my story, tell them about what I'm doing, it inspires them. So many young people see me as a role model, and it's really driving them towards the path they have right now. And I don't say it's not about you being an engineer, it's not about being into technology, whatever discipline you find yourself, you still need an atom of technology, and you still need a role model to guide you through the journey. So when you have inclusion of women, and we have inclusion of women, like inclusion of women, they will serve as a future, as a role model to future generation, to generation coming, so that this still will not we increase the number we have, we increase. Then finally, to the economic growth. I come up with my solution as a woman. You come up with yours as a woman. We all come up with our solution, individual solution, be a man or a woman. As we're doing that, we are also contributing to the economy of the country. So the last slide is okay, where we have the call is how to increase the inclusion of women. What do we do? This is like an awareness creation right now, an advocacy right now. What can we do? You as a guy, because we have so many guys here. So this is a call for you as a guy to go home, talk to your sister, talk to your auntie, talk to your parents, talk to them, talk to the girl child around you. Let's come together and see how we can encourage the girls, how we can encourage the young women out there to go into this field, to let them know there's nothing magical in STEM education. The first thing I have is early outreach. Early outreach, that's early education. There's something I did, I call it Catch Them Young. Going to primary school, talk to them about this emerging technologies and even STEM. Leave emerging technologies out of it now. Talk to them about STEM. What they can do is STEM. STEM is not magical, like I keep saying. Talk to the teachers taking this subject. Let them know that, no, you have to make it friendly. That's part of the outreach. I am calling you and the whole community to embark on and see through that we are able, we ensure that will help us to have, to gain their hearts now, to gain their interest Like I always said, we can't force anybody to do something. We can't force them. If they choose not to go into tech, fine, all is well and good. But we just need to encourage them. So catch them young, we really go a long way in increasing the number of women we have in this field. The next one is curriculum enhancement. No, we can see that this also, everything narrowed down to the education system. Enhancement of education. I caught something and I put it there. I had a speech that Jack made, that is the founder of Alibaba. It said, if we don't change the way we teach our children, we will be on a big trouble soon. We'll be having a big trouble soon. So if we don't change the way we teach, you agree with me that the curriculum we're using right now in the country is whack. It's like taking us back to 200 years, you know? And if we still work on that curriculum, if we're still working on that, we can get a good result as a nation, as an individual. And this has to do with both the male and the female child right now. This is not about the female child alone. So enhancing our curriculum, ensuring that we have more emerging technology in the curriculum, making it like an hands-on, which I really believe in. I believe so much in hands-on. I'm not a theory person. I'm a practical person. When I was able to know, when maybe I'm in the physics class, the old laws that I'm taught in class, I'm able to practicalize it and see the application of this real law. That
Hi, Kemisola.
help me with deepening my interest. Hello, I can hear you.
Yes, your time is actually up, so I would just like you to give it like a sentence. Yeah.
All right. So okay. Maybe during our the panel discussion, we'll talk more. So in conclusion, please. The inclusion of women in robotics and embedded systems, so let me just take inclusion of women in STEM field now, requires a collective effort from families, educational institutions, industry, and the society at large. Like I said, it is a call for every one of us. And I want you to take this message to your community, to your individual space, your social media, your WhatsApp group. Let them know about this, how we need to encourage women to join the space. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kemisola. I mean, that was super exciting. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but all the speakers were speaking with so much passion, like, wow, this needs to be done. Wow, it's super interesting. So let me remind the participants, please drop your questions, because I know we're going to be getting a lot of questions. So we are moving on to the panelist session. So we have questions already curated for each of the speakers. So I'm going to be starting with Omolola. So the speakers can unmute their mic so that you get to speak and the questions are being thrown at you. So I'll be starting with Omolola, like I said. So the first question is, what are some of the strategies that have been successful? Okay, so what are the strategies that you have tried personally or you have seen that have helped women to pursue career in AI? Okay, so we want to know what are those strategies so that we can just pick those strategies, apply it in our community. We have a couple of people from different communities. So we want you to share the strategies that have been successful. Okay, do you get that, Omolola? Omolola, I can't hear you. Please confirm you can hear me. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, I can hear you. Please repeat the question.
Okay, so the question is, what are the strategies that have been successful in encouraging women to pursue career in AI?
Okay, yeah, thank you. So I'm just going to generalize, right? AI or any tech field, one of the strategies that have actually helped, number one, is education, right? So there are people that for instance, some people might actually even be in other fields in school. Say you're talking about students that are actually in, they're studying food tech, they're studying other things, right? But they want to cross into tech, okay? And one of the strategies that can actually help them is when you offer them more like free introduction to tech, more like what we are doing now in DSN. A lot of people are actually here because this boot camp is free. So it helps a lot of people to actually come and learn. Now, if we tailor it to women, it will actually help a lot of women join, to help a lot of women come into tech. Then the second one I'm just going to talk about is mentorship, right? A lot of people have opportunities to learn a lot of things online, right? But we know that when you're learning things online, it is not structured. So when you have a direct mentor, somebody that can actually hold your hand, people are encouraged, okay, I don't need to do all of this by myself. I have somebody that can actually walk me through. So if you are offering free education with mentorship to help women to actually overcome the fear that is actually there about tech. Oh, tech is hard, tech is hard. They know that, okay, if I'm paired with this person has done it before me, this person can help me overcome this fear. So it's a strategy that has worked, and it will continue working.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Ola. Education and mentorship. Thank you so much. So I'll be asking Kemisola the next question. So your question is, what are the biggest barriers that women face in the field of tech? What are those biggest, so that they can see that I'm going to say 1, 2, 3 is what I'm going to say, and I should be prepared for it. So what are the barriers? Did you get that question, Kemisola, or would you like me to repeat?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. I'm going to take that question personal. The biggest challenge is what I'm going to call stereotype going into tech. No, find yourself into male-dominated field. The stereotype is there, the bias is there, but it's something you can fight. You can fight that. I remember when I had the idea of my invention then, before I started my startup, because before I founded my startup then, I spoke with some people. This is my idea. I've already started prototyping then. This is my idea. I need funding to actualize this thing. But it sounded down because they felt I'm a woman. They never believe it can come to reality. They never believe that. They never. But I did something. I went ahead. Okay, I talked to like 3 people, though they are not VCs and they are not angel investors. Okay, just try like bootstrapping, talking to your friends or family. But they felt it's not something that can come to reality. It's not something that can work. But I changed the narrative by going ahead to fetch for funding and actualize the innovation. And right now they are coming in. Oh, we'd like to invite. Which no, we don't have the time again. The door is already closed. So that's also a problem. Bias, the stereotype is there. It's constant care. We can't eliminate that. It's there all over the world. But as a woman, the best thing we should do is to prove them wrong, show them that we can do this. Okay? Because like I said, I'm taking it personal based on my experience. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for that. I mean, personal experience drive home any point of view, and we're glad you're able to share that with us. So stereotype, bias, these are the things we should look out for women that are going into the field of tech. Great. So moving on to Victoria. So your question is, how can we encourage more girls? So we have those that are shy, those that don't even want to talk, those that just want to stay at home. So how can we encourage more girls, young women to pursue careers in AI and tech?
All right. So please confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. So I got your question. And the first thing I'm going to say is peer support. Now, if we don't create safe spaces for girls, for women to share their experience and support each other, there's no way we can have more girls or more women in tech. We should also, like other speakers have said, early exposure. It is actually very important. If you have a girl child, you have a younger sister that is a girl, right from young age, introduce them, spark their interest from a young age, and they'll have that interest in getting into tech. We also have to provide hands-on activities. Let's us not just say, oh, tech is this, tech is that. Are you providing workshops, coding programs, resources for people to come on board? Then the last thing I would say is showcase diversity. Yes, we have to highlight that a diverse world will make the field relatable and welcoming. This would allow women feel comfortable. Oh, I'm needed here. I don't know if this has answered your questions. But this is all I have to say with respect to how we can encourage girls or women to join the AI world.
Thank you so much. So from the point I picked peer support, early exposure. This is critical. And like I said to the participant earlier, so what we are talking about, female inclusion, you can also bring this into every other inclusion. For those with disabilities, they need that peer support. So it's not just beyond us, it's for every sector or every category that is being excluded, we need to ensure that they are included. Okay, so I'm going to go next to Omoyola again. So your second question is, what are some of the challenges that women face in the tech industry? Now they are already there. The other question I asked Kemisola is your barrier you face. Now you're already there. So what are some of the challenges that you might face beyond bias, beyond stereotype? What are some of these challenges?
All right, thank you. So one of the challenges that you can face as a woman. Now, this is not just to women, right? But majorly for women, one of the challenges that a woman is likely to face is imposter syndrome. Now, naturally, there's this kind of I would like to say, there's this stereotype, or there's this let's say knowledge going around that normally a man is kind of like better than a woman, right? So you are in a space and there are men that have been doing it before you. There are men that like it's their world. Do you understand? It's their world, is what they do, and you're just coming into it. So you might at first actually feel maybe like less of who you are. I don't think I'm smart. I've heard a lot of ladies say this. I don't think I'm smart enough. I don't think I can do this. I don't think this is good for me. Chicken. I don't even think. So I've heard people say, I don't even think tech is good for me because I don't think that I can do it. Now, one of the things that we can actually do to, address this is people can rise up and they can be confident when they can actually do something, right? Knowledge is the best way to actually kill imposter syndrome. So how can we, that we're already in tech, help a woman that is just coming into tech, or a woman that is battling imposter syndrome, is to ensure that they are good enough. How can we ensure that they are good enough? I mentioned earlier, mentorship. Another thing is, when you create when you create platforms where women can learn. So imagine somebody thinking that it's not good enough, or the person tries to partake in an hackathon, and the person takes, let's even say, third. They start saying, oh, wow, so I can do this. Then they try again. So the best way to actually build confidence in anybody is when you equip them with enough understanding about that subject. So another thing I'm just briefly going to talk about is one of the problems that a woman would actually face is how to balance their work-life balance. So say I'm a woman now and I just gave birth, and how can I manage, I just gave birth, how can I manage that with the work that I'm doing? So one of the ways that companies can actually help is by creating, work-life balance, more like allow them work from home. So I know of somebody that is like a mentor to me that said one of the ways that she was able to still thrive, right? She currently has 2 children. And one of the ways she was able to still thrive in her career was when she gave birth, a company gave her the opportunity to work from home. So she was breastfeeding, she was doing all of that, but she was still working from home. At the time when she was asked to resume back to the office, our child was almost already working. So something like that, if we create all this kind of environment at work, to actually help women, and they'll be able to thrive.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Victoria, for that answer. I mean, I love the perspective that led to. So when she has given them, how does she, hope if something can give that attention, it can work from home. I mean, that is super, at least for the baby, for the next 3 months after the leave, that she can always have enough time for the young one. All right, so I'm going to be asking my next question. So Victoria will be taking the next question. Okay, so what are some of the ways that AI, now talking about platforms, can be used to empower women and girls? So are there platforms that women and girls can use, that is very accessible, easy to use, open source? What are some of the ways that now we know that artificial intelligence is there, beyond human effort, so AI can help women and girls? Are there some of those ways or platform that AI can be used to empower women and girls?
Okay, so the question again, what are some of the ways AI can be used rather to empower women and girls? We can actually use AI to empower everybody, but we're going to concentrate on the female gender. And one of the ways AI, I don't know why I'm saying AY, wow, AI can empower women is healthcare advancement. Yes, health is wealth. And as women, because of the way our body is wired, because of what we go through monthly, and because of childbirth, we need to take our health serious. And AI can improve our healthcare access and diagnosis. We have heard a lot from our other speaker, Kemisola, and I tell you, if there was no robotics coming into play in cancer detection, I don't know how a lot of people would have suffered. A lot of people are still suffering, but this has made a room for limiting the way cancer is affecting all of us, and generally female. So another way AI can help women is through safety and security. We can have safety measures that prevent violence against women. We can also educate women to let them know that, okay, when this and this is happening, this is the next step to do. This is the next thing next step to take rather, and this is the next thing to do. AI-driven tools can support women that are entrepreneurs and small businesses. We can inculcate AI into our small business. Some of us might be wondering, how can we do this? One very simple example is using ChatGPT. You need to know how to address your customers. You need to send emails to your customers. You're looking for how to compose all those emails. You can use an AI tool to do that, and you'll be at the top of the board. You'll be at the top of the ladder. The way you would engage your users and your customers would make them come back for more. This is actually a way to enhance and empower women in tech. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'm going next to Kemisola. So I'm asking you that. So what's the role, I know you've spoken about this already, but what's the role of mentorship and sponsorship in empowering women in AI? What's the role of mentorship and sponsorship? Did you get that, Kemisola? Can you hear me?
All right, please, can you take that again? Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, I said, what is the role of sponsorship and mentorship in empowering women in AI?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. I will tell you, mentorship and sponsorship plays a significant role in the inclusion of women in AI and STEM generally. Please permit me to say that, STEM generally. I remember when I went for Standard Chartered Bank, Women Technology Chartered Bank incubation program. You know, they made me stand on my feet where I am right now. I mean, they're like the bedrock of who I am right now. Will have created. Fine, I have that good idea. I want to stand on my own. I have those good innovations, but there's no support from anywhere. So when I went for the program, they gave me the mentorship that I need. I went through a thorough mentor section. I have a mentor, even I have a coach. They assigned a coach to me. And after the whole thing, I was given a grant. And this helped me a lot. In fact, like I said, is the base of my company, of Network Technologies. So I would say that it goes along with, it encourage women, it encourage us, you know, to like go into this field, to exploit this field, to research. Because what I do is basically R&D. I do research and development, both hardware and software. That is what my company does, and that is what I do. But when I got the mentors coming in, when I got the financial support, I was able to actualize what I have on ground, and I was able to even do more research. There's so many research that we've done now that would not even know the solution have not even been put in place, but we've already researched, well, this is a problem. This is what we're going to do to them. So what I'm saying in essence is this, that it plays a very significant role Mentors guide is very, very important. Be you a woman, be you a guy, it's very, very important to every one of us. We need to go through mentor. We need to go through a mentorship guide, get a mentor to mentor us, like what you're doing on this program. I have to just commend you for that. I had to, because I went through your website. I took my time, I think 2 days ago, to go through your website to see what you're doing. I was so wowed about what you're doing, that, oh, if you have like 5, 10 of this company, of this organization in Nigeria, we won't be where we are right now when it comes to the inclusion of young people in technology. So we really need it, and we go a long way in, in the inclusion of women, aside women now, even from both gender now, if we go in exploiting the hidden potentials that we have in us. So that is my take. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so very much. And that's super, super amazing. So I'm picking the question from the chat, and I want everyone in you to answer it. So this person is asking, I'm looking at the name, is woman. So it's asking from a man's perspective. Now that we have a lot of guys, what can men do? Maybe they don't even know what they can do to help us. So what do you think a man can do to actually help women in tech? What can they do? Okay, so organization can play this role, but men, individual men. So I'm going to start with Omolola. So how do we need men in this particular aspect?
All right, thank you. Okay, so let me just quickly create a narrative. It's more like, let's assume that there's a planet, okay? And this particular planet, the first set of people to come to this planet, let's just say gender A. I'm not using a particular gender. Let's say gender A, they're the first set of people to come to this planet. So they will be known as the owner, right, of the planet. So imagine if a new gender comes, say gender B now comes. Of course, we know that there will be more people favoring and doing, a lot of things for gender A because like it's their own. So imagine if, say, the leader of gender A now shows a kind of favor to part of the people in gender B. What happens? It opens the door for other people to now accept those of the new gender coming in. So that's just the same thing. So now we know that for the, how will I put it, workspace entirely, not just tech, workspace entirely, we have a lot of men in workspace. And that's because originally how everything was, men were the ones that were working, all right? So now if we have men encouraging women in tech space, in the work field, right? It is actually, number one, going to encourage women. Number two, is going to actually kill imposter syndrome and all of that. Number three, is going to also encourage other people to, do the same thing. So men actually have more role to play even than women, because if you encourage them, of course, they feel welcome to actually join the field. Jacob.
So much, that was really weird. The men encourage women. So you guys can hear for those on site and online. You need to encourage. If you see you have a woman in the field and she's in tech, you can just ask, have you done this? Have you completed what you wanted to do? I mean, these are things that the men can do. So Kemisola, the same question in like 2 sentences, just give a what can the men do? And then I go back, I give Victoria.
All right. My response is going to be like the awareness creation and advocacy. I want our men to help us with the advocacy in sensitizing the community that they should give women the room to exploit. They should give us the room to be who we want to be. They shouldn't discourage us. We need their support. They should take this message to the grassroots, using our grassroots, let people know that women are needed in this field. There's nothing like male-dominated field. We have to strike the balance. And also, I want to encourage our men to give us the chance. I remember when I was in uni, because I studied electrical electronics for my first degree, and we're given projects to do then, the few women that we have that they will just say, don't worry, I will help you. Just sit down, we'll do it for you. No, don't do it for us again. Allow us to do it. We can do it. Give us the room to exploit, to exploit our own idea, to exploit our own initiative, you understand? So with this, it's part of your own support. With this, I think you're encouraging that girl, you're encouraging that woman to be who she wants to be. So your encouragement is really needed in this journey, because it's a journey. It's a long journey. We need you. Thank you.
We need you. So I think I like the closing session. We really need them to encourage us. So Victoria, you give us your perspective.
All right. So one of the point I wanted to mention, as mentioned by Kemisola. So don't guys in the building, don't see us as too weak to handle tasks. Don't take care of us too much. Yeah. Allow us to take that step. Allow us to do what we want to do. We understand that you feel, oh, we're fragile, we're this, but no, have a different perspective. And one other thing I want to add is this. You don't need to think big about, oh, how we can help women. Start with somebody right in your office. Start with your younger sister. Start with your mom, your siblings. That's how to change the world. You have to start with those around you. Thank you.
So in fact, the participants here, they are just like, oh, we're not going to take care of it too much, okay? So allow us to also push out our leg, let us show what we really have. So the final question, and I'm going to paint this picture. So, for example, yourself, Victoria, Kemisola, and Mola, you guys are super busy. They're trying to combine your own, your foundation, your startup, your family, and immediate families, external families. So now, what would be your advice to women leaders when you have other younger ones trying to come up, and these leaders they are already super busy. Okay, it's super amazing that we're able to get the three of you. We made that call and you guys came. We were super excited to get women to come and speak. It's always kind of, they'll tell you, oh, we're busy. I really understand. There's so much you guys are doing. So what we advise women leaders to support those upcoming ones? What can they do? I know they are busy, so what can they do? I'm going to start with Victoria now, yes.
All right, same thing I told the guys. You have to start with those around you. So if you have a sibling, introduce her to tech. If she's interested, she'll pick it up. You don't have to give her 5 hours of your day. Share resources and devote 30 minutes to follow up. There's something we call checkup and accountability partnership. You can be an accountability partner to your younger one. What you have to do, or somebody else, let's go get away from the sibling perspective. What you have to do is check up on the person. I know we are all busy. Yes, everybody's busy. We barely sleep, we know. But then check up. You can have an alarm reminder that will tell you, okay, 7 p.m. every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. How is it going? How has it been? This would help the person coming up in a long way. Because sometimes at the point you're working, you're trying to learn, you get tired, you get bored. I'm like, I'm not going to kill myself now. Is it not just to learn this thing? Why is it looking hard? But sometimes when you have somebody to check up on you, how is it going? Give you some words of encouragement. Boom. You start learning again and you're back to your PC and you're back to what you're learning. So that's what I have to say. Check up on people. It goes a long way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we need to take our time, dedicate that 30 minutes time. I think I like the alarm reminder. It's really important. There's just so much like calling for attention. So Kenny, so last similar question, what would be your perspective?
Can you take the question again?
Okay, so what would you advise women? Okay.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So the question is, what would you advise women leaders?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes. So what would you advise women leaders like yourself with so much responsibility, okay? Immediate family, external family, to support these other younger women coming up, such that they are not just overwhelmed with what they are going through, they are also able to pull those that are just coming up. So what can they do?
All right. Like I've been doing, using myself as a case study, is even outside my tight schedule, because of the interest I have in STEM education and the interest I have in my career. I will call myself a career woman. That's me. And I still try to balance the equation. I mean, talking to women that are already in this field now, trying to strike the balance. No, though it's not difficult. I'm sorry, it's not easy to actualize, but I'm still trying to try to see how I could balance the equation, my career, my passion, and my family now. So then there's one other thing I want to say to women out there, that the leaders now, about encouraging the younger ones now, and leave it to not just leave women out of it. I mean, we girls or women now, for general, I'm talking about the general youth right now, is to let them know, and this is something I just say, that whatever discipline you find yourself, whatever discipline, either you want to be a lawyer, you want to be an accountant, whatever you find yourself, or
issue, I believe, on the journey back to study. So, Omolola, please, can you just answer the same question? Do you need me to repeat the question?
Okay, yeah, no, there's no need for you to repeat the question. Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so my take on this would basically be, so this question you're asking is a little bit personal, right? So I am a firm believer that if somebody out there did not probably maybe take time to mentor me, I would not be where I am today. Okay. So I think it is majorly a mind thing, right? It is something that everybody, not just women now, everybody needs to have in their mind, that number one, nobody is an island, right? Nobody is an island of knowledge. And so there's this saying that you have actually not succeeded until the next person, the people coming after you succeed. So something I love doing, right, is what's it called? I love community work. The reason is because, like I said, it's very personal. If somebody did not probably mentor me, you will not be where you are today. So the same gesture that was actually done to me, we need to actually do it to other people, mentor other people, help somebody. And each time I see somebody says, somebody that is about to start Power Platform, for instance, I remember how hard it was for me to start. So you try your best to help, no matter how busy you are, right? You try your best to just sow your own seed by helping one person. The one person you help will help another five people. The 5 people will help another 25. So aside from, techniques that we can actually imbibe, it is majorly a mind thing. It is something that we need to be conscious about, that I have to help somebody, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 15 minutes, there's somebody that I need to help. Right, so it's majorly a mind thing that we should all do. And let me just quickly take this moment to talk to everybody that is currently listening. So I know that you're here for DSN Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp that was, organized for free. When you leave here, there's something that you've learned. Okay, there's something that was taught to you that you've learned. That thing is not too small for you to teach other people. And that way we can actually produce another generation of people that actually know the little that you know now. Spread the knowledge. Okay, so that's just what I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was super amazing. I just want to confirm Kemisola is still on the call. We are really pressed for time.
Yeah, sorry, I have a glitch. Sorry, I have a glitch. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay, great. So I have a couple of questions on the call, so I'll just address.
Okay. All right.
A very interesting topic, and I think I would like Kemisola to answer this. So that's why is it so important to have women in tech? Okay, is there any special impact? I think the story of yourself is enough testimony to that fact. So
obviously,
yeah.
obviously, even for gender balance, we need them. It's very, I know it's cheating. Let me put our own language now. It's cheating to have male alone in one company. It's not good now. At least for gender balance, even though it's for that alone, we have equal, for us to have equal, equal rights. And aside that, like I said during my presentation, having a diverse of head, 2 heads are better than one. We all believe that. two heads are better than one. So when you have a diverse people coming together to think on one challenge, you're very sure of that challenge will surely have a very good solution, because everybody is going to bring their own person based on how the challenge is affecting them. Like I said, it's one of the squad mentioned my invention, which is like a very good example, So it's very important. It is very, very important we have women, join that space.
Thank you so much, Kemisola. So I'm going to direct this question to Victoria. Victoria, so from a community perspective, so somebody asked for women with disabilities, intellectual, visual impairment. So how is AI integrated for such women from a community perspective?
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There's one thing Microsoft has been talking about, I think since about last year, and it is accessibility. So when communities are created, there's provision for people with visual impairments and other special needs. Now, as other women trying to build communities, I would say make provision for people with special needs. Now, it doesn't have to be something big. For example, your event venue, you're having a physical event, your event venue, can people with wheelchair come in comfortably? Minor things like this goes a long way in making sure that these people are also welcomed and feel encouraged to be part of tech. I met a lady this year, May. She was actually not born blind, but she became blind, I think, 2 years ago. And the point where I met her was at an event where we're trying to encourage more women to join in, come in tech. And this lady is in Jos. So at a point, I was looking at her and I'm like, me that I can see with my both eyes, what have I done to encourage those with visual impairments and other special needs? I saw her zeal. That day I was almost crying because it was a lot to take in. She actually came and was interested in tech. Now, thankfully, technology has gone a long way. We have tools that would be useful for people with visual impairments and people that need accessibility. And we tell developers these days, when you are building solutions, take into considerations those that would use your applications. Not everybody that has the use of their eye. So all these little things, we should have them in mind when addressing people, when trying to invite people into our communities, when building solutions. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much to all our speakers. Please, can we celebrate them? It's been a super amazing night. Thank you so much, Omolola. Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you so much, Kemisola. We're going to be taking a round here for this session. And I tell you, I've been a lot of insights. I've had to write down so many things. And I really want to appreciate your time. I know that you guys are super busy, but really celebrate the fact that you are championing this course. You have your work at Microsoft, you have your own company, but you are still taking on this challenge to encourage the younger one. On this call, I would like to thank you so much for joining this session. I want to thank the participant also for staying on the call. It's been a super amazing time. So I want those online to I want to see the thank you. So please, with your emojis, with whatever it is your favorite one, either fire or clap, please can you please celebrate all our outstanding speakers for this session. Thank you so much. So for the participants, we'll be moving on. So Victoria Onola can drop the call or if you'd like to join us and continue in this bootcamp. Bye. Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, we have one more thing to do. Like I said, my colleagues will be dropping the links to our ladies in AI. So they're giving you guys hope to encourage us. So right now, for the next 2 minutes, pick up your phone, go on Twitter. So one of my colleagues read up on the WhatsApp page for those on site who do not have access to the Zoom link. So I'd like you to go to the page, just follow us. quickly. So if you have done that, just put done. So I'm going to be checking. It might be part of the minister. If I tell you minister algorithm that didn't click on our page, we will disqualify. Okay? So please go on that page and follow us. Okay, so my colleague just check the chat if they posted the link again. So please go on your phone now, go on Twitter, on LinkedIn, DSN Ladies in AI. So if you've done that, just put done, because when you follow a post, it creates more visibility, right? So we can now reach more people that wouldn't have seen us before. Oh, so there's a community like this doing great stuff like we are doing. So we need that. So please, this is the session for you to, so now the post, the link is going up again. So I'm saying confidence. A lady, she's the first person to follow, please. For those on site, so how do we track them? Please just click on your WhatsApp page. Just put done. I'll personally take it down. Whoever does not like our award session to be a qualifying. Yeah, so thank you so much for supporting us. We do not take this for granted. Sincerely, I mean, it means a whole lot to us. So we're going to wrap up this session in about a minute, and next we are having poster presentation. So the next anchor will be coming up. So it's been an amazing time with you guys. So I remain Oluwaseun. I give you a whole far in this panel session. So my colleague will be coming up shortly. Please, you guys need to sit and relax. These guys have done the whole lot, putting these posters together, and they are really, really beautiful. And we're going to be showcasing every of those wonderful posters.